What is a flipped classroom? The concept of a flipped classroom is a popular term in the field of instructional technology today. Basically, a flipped classroom challenges the traditional model of a teacher delivering content in the classroom and then having students complete the work at home.
However, the concept of a flipped classroom differs in the sense that students begin their learning independently. Students study the material on their own time with multimedia formats such as videos based on the content. Then, students practice the concept in the classroom with teacher assistants and in peer groups. In a traditional classroom model, instruction focuses upon the concept of I do, we do, you do, in which I do, the teacher leads instruction, we do, the teacher works with the class to emphasize the instruction, you do, the student completes the work independently.
The flipped classroom focuses on a more collaborative model. After the students have finished the work independently, they work together in the we do setting. Afterwards, teachers check with the students to make sure they are comprehending the lesson. Many students enjoy this collaborative format and it helps enhances their learning.
The flipped classroom allows students to learn at the individual level. For instance, if a student does not understand a concept, he or she may rewind the video to reinforce the concept. In a traditional model, a student may not rewind a lecture or what a teacher has presented to them. When using a flipped classroom, this can help students reach a higher level of Bloom's taxonomy. Students take on a deeper role as a creator because they must work with others to create together and solve problems and concepts that they have learned on their own independently.
The flipped classroom format is enjoyable for many students because they can control their own learning and go at their own pace. For instance, students who may need more remediation can re-watch the lesson to gather further understanding, or students who already have a stronger concept can move on to the next part.
In the flipped classroom, teachers are both experts and facilitators. For instance, a teacher can produce a video on a math concept for students to watch at home. When the students arrive in class, the teacher will have a problem-based lesson for students to apply their knowledge. During this process, the teacher would take on the role as a facilitator to help ensure students understand the concept and guide their learning.
The flipped classroom has shown to be a very effective way of instructions for students. Many students enjoy this method because they are able to collaborate and bounce ideas off of each other. In addition, it is also effective because the teacher is there to help see the learning process and help students apply it instead of at home when they are working by themselves.
The flipped classroom is effective because it uses technology, which interests many of today's learners who are considered digital natives because of their familiarity with technology. However, the flipped classroom also provides authentic engagement when students collaborate in the classroom setting, which helps enhance their content knowledge. Although the flipped classroom is a wonderful method of instruction to assist students, often teachers are unsure where to begin. The flipped classroom can seem like a daunting task because it is different than anything teachers or students may have experienced before. However, here are some simple tips to get you started. One thing to remember when creating your flipped classroom is to start small. Introduce the concept to students with a lesson. Perhaps provide a video for them to watch on their own time, such as a math problem, and then apply the concept into the classroom when they come in the next day. Another thing to remember when implementing the flipped classroom is to set the procedure. Make it an expectation that students watch the videos on their own time. This is their new homework for the flipped classroom model. This way, they come prepared to class, and be sure to establish rules for the cooperative learning environment. Another important thing to remember when implementing the flipped classroom is to be patient. It'll take time to set a procedure with students and for them to understand the expectations that come along with a flipped classroom. This model can be used on a variety of different students, including those of younger age and those with learning difficulties, but it will take time to implement.
Created using Powtoon.